Good evening, and I'm making this presentation as a joint presentation between the Restoring Force, which is the NGO behind Gurgaon Ki Awaaz, which is a community radio station in Gurgaon, and Sesame Workshop India Trust, which are the creators of the award-winning Gully Gully Sim Sim program. What I'm presenting is the Radiophone project, which was conceptualized in 2010 as a three-way partnership between Sesame Workshop and their Gully Gully Sim Sim program, Gurgaon Ki Awaaz Samudayak Radio, a community radio station in Gurgaon, and Gramvani, a technology company that has specialized in technology for community media. Our target for this program was the children of migrant communities, and especially given the fact that in Gurgaon and in other cities, migrant workers move very frequently even within the city and to other cities. So there are frequent disruptions in their education, and they are not able to kind of very often they're dropouts. So the idea was also, is that possible to have some content that is available via telephony, via low power FM broadcast that stays with them even as they shift locations, even if they go back to their village. Say if they go back to Jharkhand or Bihar or Rajasthan, is it possible for them to call back into a number and continue listening to a program, continue participating in a program, even though they've been forced to move away? So the objective of this program is to provide entertaining educational content for these children who are among the most marginalized in Gurgaon. We are working with 45 government schools in the urban Gurgaon block. And if you see most of these schools, 90% of the students in those schools are migrant worker children, they're not locals. For TRF, it was very exciting to be able to take content that is culturally relevant, that is not Western content, and that is specially created for young children. So what is showcased here today is, so the Radiophone project is the Gully Gully Sim Sim program, bridged with content that is locally created, which is recorded among local children, their teachers, their parents. The focus of these programs is literacy, math, and healthy habits for life. Everything from eating green vegetables to being able to share things, to knowing your numbers, and to having, to being able to play word games and getting familiar with alphabets, Hindi alphabets. So what we're showcasing today is the school program, in which the challenge for us is how do we take this program into Gurgaon schools. Gurgaon schools are surrounded by very high buildings, and low power FM signal does not reach many schools. So the solution that Gramvani came up with was that we could do internet streaming, and these programs could reach the children via smartphones. And in the first cycle, that's what we did. Teachers, 45 class 1 teachers were provided with smartphones, and they were broadcasting this internet streaming broadcast to the children, and the children were able to use the same phones to call into the program and participate live on the show. It could be anything about, what do you like eating, or, what kind of conflicts do you have with your friends, how do you sort them out. It could be anything the child wants to share. The emphasis was on to encourage the child to speak up and to speak out and to be able to participate even if they're not in the studio.
30 seconds, please.
Yeah. There is, we have a short film. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop speaking now, and the questions can come later. And whenever the time is up, we can just stop the film.
Millions of families in India are unable to access information that can help children grow up healthy, happy, and ready to learn. Sesame Workshop India's Radiophone project combines community radio platform and cell phones to make educational media accessible to children and caregivers in marginalized and highly migrant communities.
What is critical to understand is the context of India that we work with. Okay, it's a very, very diverse country. Culturally it's diverse, geographically it's diverse, and linguistically it's diverse. But it's also a very disparate country in the sense the access to information is limited. So 49% of people in India do not have access to television. What they do have access to, however, is radio, and cell phones.
Community radio has the kind of reach and connect with a particular geographical community that we cannot even expect from mainstream media. By the simple fact that it is limited to a very small geographical region. Also that you always broadcast in the local dialect. When we met the team at Gully Gully Sim Sim, the question that was foremost on both our minds was that how do we take this world-class content which is proven, which works, how do we bring it to community radio and make it relevant to our local context?
The audacious Radiophone project reaches 10 diverse communities with laughter and learning as Gully Gully Sim Sim characters talk about going to school, learning letters and numbers, and the basic importance of hygiene.
The definition of community is changing. It's increasingly becoming porous in the way communities are moving from place to place and building new communities. But they are held together homogeneously through language and culture. And the way they can access and identify with their language and culture is through a program that is their own.